How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called Alma, Missouri, US. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, Welcome to Alma, Missouri. This map is based on the small, beautiful town of Alma in the state of Missouri, US. The vast majority of buildings, residential and commercial, on the main street are modeled after the real buildings found in the city, as well as traffic signs and street markers. Of course, due to the gameplay, some things have been changed and some have been added, but the feeling of a small American town has been retained. On the map, you will find the following: 3 pre-placed farms, the main one that belongs to you at the start, and 2 that, in order to use it, you will have to buy the land first. Main farm with starting vehicles and equipment will have cow barn, horse stables, sheep barn, and 3 fields. 42 farmlands, 41 fields from small to big, 5 fields with grass missions, 1 small forestry site, BGA that will not produce electricity but will produce methane that you'll be able to collect and sell at the local gas station where methane sell point is placed. Traffic, pedestrians, Missouri license plates, custom crop calendar, train that will take your goods to Sedalia, train sell point. Productions available: sawmill, dairy, tailor shop, pizzeria, ketchup production, popcorn factory, corn dryer that will dry your corn into dry corn, which you will be able to sell and send to the grain mill to produce fine corn flour, and which you will be able to and which you will also be able to sell and use in the local bakery. To dry the corn, you will need propane gas, which you can buy at the gas station. Grain mill, bakery with 3 new products: cornbread, sweet cornbread, and pumpkin pie. Placeable greenhouses with new fruit, pumpkin. Added 2 liquid tankers for transport methane and propane, and you can find it in the miscellaneous category. If sugar production is not for you, you can buy sugar pallets in the local store, but at a much higher price. Selling stations are grain sell point, diner restaurant will take your production goods, methane sell point, bale sell point, train sell point. Additional items on the map include: soybeans will grow in rows and produce straw, Benji FS maize texture, 3 new crops: rye, peas, and alfalfa. Alfalfa has been implemented in animal feed. Added 3 placeable silo bunkers that will accept alfalfa and dry alfalfa. Swathing system thanks to BC Bueller Farms, who allowed me to use their add-on. And in order for this system to work its best for you, let's try that again. And in order for this system to work best for you, you should use their mods that are designed for this. There's also working car washing station in town. Change the weather conditions a bit so winter will be with a lot of snow. Background textures change as seasons changed. I wish you all a lot of fun on this map. This map was created by Celobuki and is 887.63 megabytes to download. And if we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. And you can see we start all the way up here in the northwestern corner. Let's see, we start out by owning farmlands number 1 and 8. Farmland number 1 has the main farm, a cornfield, and an alfalfa field. The cornfield is still growing while the alfalfa field is ready to harvest. And then farmland number 8 contains a wheat field, and that is ready to harvest. Prices do vary around the map. You do get several options to start out really small. So you got a $44,000 field right there. You also got a $21,000 field here. You got a little bit of forestry, just a very small bit of forestry area right here at $23,000. You've also start to grow from here. So you got $120,000, $142,000, $121,000, $140,000, $91, but then you can get into some of these really big ones. $901,000, you got $784,000, $653,000. So you have a really, really good opportunity to start off small, getting some of these kind of smaller plots, and then just grow and grow and grow. And you do start out with a pretty good size fields here. You can see your cornfield here, your alfalfa, and your wheat field. They're not small. So you'll be able to build up money fairly quickly. You do start out with animal pens. You can see you have the cow barn, sheep barn, and horse barn. Contracts are available on this map. Production chains, nothing to start out with, and no collectibles to start out with, or no collectibles on this map whatsoever. If we take a look at mods specific for this map, under the buy menu, if we scroll down all the way to the mods and DLCs, you'll see the Alma, Missouri card here, and you can see we have the tankers here, which are modified to allow you to take propane and methane, and then you also have sugar pallets at a premium price, 1,000 liters for $6,000. It's pretty expensive. So if you want, you can buy them right from the base game, but it's going to be cheaper to produce. Much, much cheaper to produce. And then if we take a look at mod specific for this map under the build menu, starting under buildings, we do have, scrolling over to the right, we have a couple of Alma, Missouri mods that are specific to this map. Under silos, scrolling over, you can see Alma, Missouri there at the bottom. Nothing under silo extensions or containers or tools, but under farmhouse, you do have Alma, Missouri farmhouse right there. Then under productions, there's nothing under factories, nothing under sell points, but under greenhouses, you will see here Alma, Missouri, and they're basically the same as the base greenhouses that we get, but you get one additional product, which is pumpkins. So that's really nice. Nothing under orchards and nothing under generators. Under animals, though, we get quite a bit here. So we get under cows, we get a couple of cow barns right here. And you can see how it does take additional products. So we will go over that a little bit later. Under horses, we do have horses. We do have something here for pigs. We do have something for sheep. And we do have something for chickens. So all these are mods specific to this map. Nothing for bees and nothing for others. There's nothing at all under this entire tab for decorations. And then lastly, under landscaping, we do have several additional painting swatches, as you can see here, but nothing under trees or plants. So if I turn around and start heading in this direction, you'll see this building right behind us over here. This is the sawmill, just a little ways away. So you got your wood chip output, we're passing by right here. You have your output for your products there, your wood cell trigger here, and the woods, no, I'm sorry, this is the wood cell trigger. So this is where you sell your products. This is where you click the button to sell the wood. You've got your actual main production buy point right here, 100,000 to purchase the sawmill, and your productions are right here. So now let's run back to our gator that they so kindly provide for us all the way out in the middle of nowhere. Just got to make our way to it. And I really like, you start out the map right up here in this northwestern corner here, but look at that. Welcome to Alma, established 1879. That's cool. And now let's start making our way around. So we're going to start heading down the road, heading south. And you can see that this, I think this is really sharp. The color palette is fantastic. I love the very understated wildflowers around the map. You can see that you got those white wildflowers just sporadically along with the weeds and stuff growing along the side of the roads. Very, very nice. Nice American flags draped on the electrical poles. Like this, to me, is iconic for small town America, especially seeing those American flags just draped along the side of the poles. So let's stop here. And they do have a nice little waving animation to them. Love it. Over here, we have the ketchup production. You can purchase this for $40,000. We will purchase this so we can show it off. You can see all you need, tomatoes and water. Very, very easy starting production chain for anybody. So your inputs go in here and your outputs are right here. And now on the back side of this building, just over here, we have the popcorn factory. You can purchase this for $60,000. Again, we'll purchase this because this isn't an everyday kind of production chain here. So for this, you need dried corn and butter. Those are the two products you need. And then for you just need for regular popcorn, dried corn, and we'll cover the dried corn later. And then for butter popcorn, you need dried corn and butter to make your butter popcorn. And outputs here, inputs here. Continuing down the road just a little bit. Right here is the methane selling station, and here is the gas station. You can also purchase your diesel, and you should be able to purchase your propane from here as well. So this is going to be a little bit later where we find out what the propane is used for the drying the corn. Now right across the street, I normally don't show this, but I'm going to show it here. You actually have a little built-in washing station right here, and you can just use this to wash off your equipment, which is really nice. I like that. It's kind of a cool little feature. And again, something that you would see either in a small town or really just any town that's going to have a little car wash or jet wash somewhere. Little placeable area right there. Stopping here. Around the back here. This is the livestock bale sell point. And this is the animal dealer. Now, if you have animal pens or pastures pre-placed onto the map, you can go ahead and come to this location and purchase using this reticle or using this icon. You can purchase animals directly from this location, or using the same reticle or icon at the pens and pastures that you have installed. Now, you can purchase them, but if you do purchase them from this location, you will incur an additional fee. That fee is associated to a delivery fee, and I can just show that right now. So if I look at the cows here, and I go to purchase a cow, an adult cow, I'm getting charged a fee, $100 per cow that I purchase directly from this location. So it's essentially simulating the animal dealer taking the animal and moving them to your barn or pasture for you. Now you can save that money. You can save that $100 a cow or however much it is for whatever animal by bringing an animal trailer to this location. You load the animals into the trailer, and then you deliver the animals yourself. You will save that fee. And depending how many animals you're buying, it's going to add up. So it might be worth taking a look at as to whether or not you want to actually have them send you the animals or not. So now, I'm going to cross over the tracks here, and then make a left. Off to the side here, we have the grain sell point right there. And then to my right, that is the train silo. So you got your input on the left and your output on the right. And then over here you have the rent train trigger here. And again, the input and output for the train for your train silo. And speaking of which, there it goes. Good timing. So we're going to come up this side road right here. Now around over here, this is the dairy. You can purchase this for $70,000. Let's go ahead and purchase this and see. Nope, nothing out of the ordinary there. There's so many things that are kind of built into the maps. I'm going to buy a lot of these production points because there's other items that have been added in. Here you have the bakery, $60,000. You can purchase this. And this one you will have a bunch of stuff added. So bread we're used to seeing. Cornbread we are not. You have to have corn flour and butter to make your cornbread. Cakes, again, we're used to seeing. Pumpkin pie. This is something we're not used to seeing. This entire recipe, you got flour, sugar, milk, eggs, butter, and pumpkins to make pumpkin pie, and then sweet cornbread. Pretty much the same recipe as before, but sugar is also added to this. And then if we go around the back side here, for the bakery, output here, input here, and then for the dairy, output here, and input here. And now, hop in and run across the street. Let's see. Oh, I passed right by. It's over here. This is the diner restaurant sell point. And then right over here, we have a couple more production areas. So hop over here. Starting with the pizzeria, $40,000 to purchase this. We'll go ahead and get that, and we'll take a look. And you can see flour, ketchup, and cheese. That's going to be a funky pizza, but point being, that's how you make it. And then here, we have the tailor shop. $70,000 to purchase the tailor shop. We'll go ahead and purchase that just to see. Nope, nothing out of the ordinary there. Just close. Come back here, because we have our input for the pizzeria here, and output back here, and then input for your tailor shop here, and output right there. Now again, head back across the street. Right here, we have our repair trigger, right there, and our shop trigger, right here. And now we'll turn down here. Now back here, this is the corn dryer. Now this is where we get the dry corn. Purchase this for $100,000. Go ahead and do that. And you can see you need corn and propane to get your dried corn. Your inputs and outputs are right here. And then right next door, and here's your input for your propane. So that's your corn input and your corn output there, and your propane input there. Over here is the grain mill. And purchases for $96,000. And wheat flour, barley flour, oat flour, sorghum flour, all used to that. But then we have corn flour and fine corn flour. So those are two new ones. And you can see for corn flour, it's regular corn. And for fine corn flour, it's dried corn. And then you have your input here, your output right here. And we're just going to head down the road just a little ways. Come around here. And then make a left. And now here, we pull into this driveway here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at where we've been and what we've seen so far. Pretty straightforward up until this point. We started way up here. We went over to the sawmill, ran back to our gator, and then went down south. We saw the ketchup production, the popcorn factory, the methane selling station, the gas station. Then came down here where we saw the livestock bale sell point as well as the animal dealer. Came down across the railroad track over here where we saw the grain sell point, the rent train trigger, and the railroad storage silo. We then came out front and we saw the dairy and the bakery. Then went across the street to see the dining restaurant sell point, as well as the pizzeria and tailor shop. We then went across the street to see the vehicle shop and the repair trigger. Back behind there, we saw the corn dryer and then the grain mill. That's came around here, down to here, to where we're at now at this secondary farm. Now, this is technically the first farm we've been to, but this is not our main starting farm. So we're going to refer to this as farm number 2. Farmland number 35. You purchased this for $294,943. You can see here, you get a couple new pop-ups. Now, tucked around the backside here, got your sleep trigger right here. And then hop into the gator. Now, tuck back here. You have your old cow barn. Now, you have room for 140 cows, but you already have 50 cows. Water goes in here. Feed goes in here. And I believe you blow straw in here as well. And then around this side, you have your milk trigger right there. And then over here, you have your slurry point right there. And what's really nice, I'm going to go ahead and go into the kind of elevated view here. These different fields are all connected to this one barn here. So you've got this kind of pasture right tucked away in here, which is separated by the fence. You got this pasture here that's, again, you got cows roaming in. And then this one over here, again, separate from the others, but are still part of the same cow barn. So that is really nice. And just really nice kind of layout of each of the farmyards. This map is really cool in how it lays out all the 3 different farms. And back here you got a nice little pond access right there for water. Let's see, plenty of storage for this size of field. There's this size of farm. And now we've got a bit of driving to do. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to tell you that I get some really strong Stone Valley vibes from this map. I really get those kind of vibes. And if we take a look at the map, you can kind of see why. You can see how the fields are very irregularly shaped. You get a lot of breakage and you get some kind of cutting and bifurcating of the fields themselves. It's just very much a kind of Stone Valley-esque kind of style for this map, and I really like it. I like how the fields are irregularly shaped. They're not the stereotypical American style square fields, very easy to manage. This farm here is surrounded by tons of grass fields. So you can see just how much is going on at that particular farm. I believe all those grass fields have contracts. But you look around here and it's just really kind of a stunning view that you have. You get these small undulations, nothing too crazy, but so much to break up the sight lines, and you've got enough trees to kind of break up things and make it to where it's not just a flat, just kind of plain looking kind of map. So it's really nice. And like I said, the wildflowers on the side of the road there are very understated. They're not bright and colorful. This is very well done. Now here we're at our starting farm, which gives us a good opportunity to take a look at what kind of starting equipment we have. So under the Buy menu, we scroll up to Owned Items, starting with small tractors. We have a Case Maxim CVX 115. Under medium tractors, we have a John Deere 6230R and a 4755. Harvesters, we have a Case Axleflow 7150. Cars, we have the John Deere XUV 865M. Trailers, the Brantner TA 23065 Power Tube Plus. Header for the case, the 3050 Terraflex 28 footer, and a corn header, the Capello Diamond 8. Under cultivators, you have the Cokerling All-Rounder Flatline 600, seeders, the Pottinger Terracim C6F, planters, the Kverneland Optima RS, mowers, you have the K-brand GMD 4411 rear deck mower, and a Pottinger Novacat 301 AM ED Pro front deck mower. Tedders, you have the K-brand GF 8712, windrowers, the Samaz Z2 840H, balers, the Massey Ferguson RB 4160V ProTech. Under animals, you have the Siloking Trail 4.0 Premium 221822 mixing wagon. And you can see that this will also accept the different crop types there, including peas and alfalfa, both regular and dried. You have a header trailer, and under belt systems, you have the Conveyall 1690 as well as the Meridian TL 1239. Whew, all right. Now that that's all gone through, let's head over in this direction. Plenty of storage on this farm. You got your main cow barn right here. We'll start back here. Open that real quick. Now, you have room for 150 cows in this barn. You have your feed trigger in here, and I believe this is also where you can bring your straw to blow it. Over here, you have your milk trigger back here, but if we take a look around real fast, we don't have any place for slurry. Nowhere on the barn do we have it. That is actually separate from the main barn. If we get back into the gator and head down here, tucked around the back side here, this is where you can get your slurry out of that barn right there. So that's really cool. That makes a ton of sense to me. You've got this natural built-in hill, and you're gonna put the kind of plumbing and stuff to the barn, run it down the hill and into that tank. I think that's so cool. Kind of the utilization of the natural landscape. And then tucked around the back side of the cow barn, you have the sheep barn. 100 sheep can go in here, and your feed goes right there. Let's go ahead and close that. And your sheep just kind of wander around in there. Oops. Now we'll head back towards the house, but not leave this farm because we still got more stuff. A lot of your main equipment is tucked away in that big barn right there. Over here, you got your 3 big silos there, the flat bottom silos. And then here we have our horse barn. You can see room for 16 horses. Come around the back side over here. There's your field of alfalfa right there. Oops. No. There we go. And then straight ahead, this is your feed point for your horses, and I believe you can blow your straw right into there. Alright, and that is the main farm. Now if you follow this road out, we'll go ahead and go into the overview again. Follow this road all the way tucked back here, and you do have a nice little pond back here for you to get some more water for all your animals that require it, so that's nice. And then again, we got a little bit more driving around to do, because once you get down to this portion of the map, it's very far from place to place. So you're really tucked away from like the main kind of thoroughfare going on in town there. And the whole kind of eastern portion of the map is not a lot going on. And here we're going to go ahead and make a left. And then we're just going to follow this down until we reach our next point of interest. I do really like these, the narrow bridges right here. You see these, where I grew up north in Michigan there, you saw those very often, those style of bridges. This map really makes me feel like I'm home. And I just get those really kind of Midwestern vibes from this map. It's really bringing back a lot of memories as we're kind of going through and exploring this map. And again, you get another narrow bridge right up here. And to the right is our next point of interest. This is the biogas plant. Now, this one is set up slightly different than most of our biogas plants that we're used to seeing. So we come over here and purchase this for $300,000. Go ahead and do that. Now, you have the ability to take in silage, slurry, manure, and sugar beets cut. And you will produce as an output digestate and methane. Two products, which normally you don't get the methane. So you got your input for solids here, input for liquids here, output for your digestate here, and output for your methane right here. And now we're heading to our last set of interests. Is going to be the last farm available for this map. And of the three we've seen so far, this next one is the smallest of the three. I would say that the starting farm is actually the larger of the three. You get a ton of area to build up, a lot of ability to grow with that particular farm. You can grow this one too, but not by much. But it's laid out in such a way that there is the room or the potential for growth. So, farm number 3, if we take a look at the map, we were here at this farm. We came down this main, or I should say side road, because it's basically a dirt road. We went through our starting farm where we saw the farmhouse, sleep trigger, the cow barn, sheep barn, flat bottom silos, and horse barn. We then did an overview to see the pond back here. Came back out to the road, went north, saw the biogas plant, and now the last place we need to look is right here, farmland number 10 for $204,000. Purchase that, and you can see we get a whole bunch of pop-ups now. Starting with our sleep trigger, tucked away in here. Our silo, right over there. And then over here is our pig barn. So starting with, open this up. This, I believe, is the slurry output. Feed trigger right here. And our pigs can be loaded in through here. 108 total will fit in here. And you can see that's the reason why I think that this is the slurry output, is there's no other location that I found for pigs to have their slurry output. I don't see anything like the cows where it's kind of built on the side or anything like that. But yeah, so that is it. That is Alma, Missouri. Now it is time to render my opinion, let you know what I think. 0 to 5 scale. As always, I'm going to come right out and say it. Right quick, fast, and in a hurry. It's a 5. This is a fantastic map. I love this map. Like I said earlier, this map really reminds me of being back in Michigan, where I came from there, and it has a lot of similarities to it. Like I said, the color palette amazing, the undulations, the subtle breaks. You're not getting huge mountains and hills and anything like that. You're just getting subtle, little lofts and things. You get real road names, which I think is really cool. So you got Bennett Road, the stop sign. You also get like the realistic looking town, which according to the description is, a lot of the buildings are modeled after the real buildings in the town. That's fantastic. I think that is so cool that the map maker Celobuki went through all the effort to actually go in and model the town. And there's some subtle variations from reality per what they were saying. That a lot of that's because the gameplay and whatnot. You have to kind of step back from reality ever so slightly to be able to accommodate for the gameplay and the mechanics themselves. So all in all, I think this is just fantastic. Like I've mentioned a couple times, I love the sporadic wildflowers. Again, that reminds me so much to home. Being able to see those white wildflowers just kind of hanging out on the side of the road there. I would see that all the time growing up, and the very intermittent kind of look that they have, paired with the kind of weeds that are growing beside them. The field shapes are really, I think, next level. Very, very much like the Stone Valley, like I mentioned earlier. But you do get some that are easier than others. So you get this kind of very nice mix of those roads that are those fields that are really kind of intimidating and going to require a lot of manual intervention. I really love the realistic road signs right there. Alma to the left, and I think I was colder to going straight. That's really cool. Love that. And then this, just the sign right here at the road entryway there. I think that's cool. That is so cool. Again, you get another realistic road sign right there. It's just a fantastic map. Again, you look here in town, and again, the small town that I came from, it is not unrealistic for there to be all these little American flags just tacked onto the side of the electrical poles, the little light poles right here. I could tell you all the time that I would go through, my hometown, the small towns that I used to stomp around in growing up. That was a very common thing, seeing an American flag just tacked up on every light pole going right through town. It was just fantastic. Got the cool little water tower in the background over there. Yeah, I mean, this is just fantastic. This is a really, really cool, a real cool map, and a lot of effort went into making this and kind of replicating it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So yeah, all in all, I am just absolutely floored with this map and just how it looks, how it turned out. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with this map. So 5 out of 5. Very, very good job, Celobuki. Thank you very, very much for making this map, because this is stunning. I absolutely love it. But I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.